Regular meeting agenda of the Township of Lyon Board of Trustees together. It's Monday, November 6, 2023 at 7 o'clock. We could please stand for the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you. Please show that we are all present.
Yep.
We'll move to the approval of the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as submitted.
I'll support.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, we're going to move on to the approval of the agenda. I have nothing to add or delete.
I'll move the approval of the agenda as submitted.
I'll support.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we're going to move on to announcements and communications. Anyone have anything you'd like to?
I've got just one that Amy and I attended the SEMCOG meeting for the General Assembly, and she had a great presentation on Inspiration Park. And we got to learn a lot about what other communities have done in their communities. It was a pretty neat little rapid-fire presentation of 4 minutes per community and about a dozen communities to kind of go through and pick out one particular project and how it did it. So it was pretty neat.
Great.
I won't say any more if you were going to say.
I'd just like to announce that Lyon Township, again, we don't have an election tomorrow. The cities around us do, so I think people are a little confused because there's signs everywhere, but Lyon Township does not have an election tomorrow. We'll be having a presidential primary.
Okay, anyone else? All right, seeing none, we're going to move to call to the public. As soon as you can stand up to the microphone and talk about non-agenda related items, please keep it to 3 minutes. Give your name and address for the record. Okay, seeing no one, we're going to close call to the public, move on to reports. Amy, DDA.
Good evening, everyone.
Amy.
A couple of updates based on the memo that I submitted. I've had the opportunity in the past 3 weeks. I've been meeting with members of the MADC board, and we've reached out to a couple different companies that may be looking to do an expansion in the township and then a possible new business. So we're keeping our fingers crossed, but I should know more within the next month as some decisions are made, so I can hopefully share some more information at the next meeting with you. An update on the petition to abandon New Hudson Road. I just wanted to let you know that we officially submitted that to the county last week. We did decide to go the route just to get township resident signatures. We didn't get all of the abutting property owners just because it was going to be a lot of tracking people down out of state, and there were some issues with getting correct contact information, so we just felt it was wiser to submit the application and just have to go the public hearing route. So that I sent it, and we should be getting confirmation that it was received within the next couple of days, but that process is moving forward, so I'll keep you all updated. As you'd mentioned earlier, I did attend the SEMCOG General Assembly meeting where we did that presentation on Inspiration Park. It was really nice to see all the other communities that were doing interesting projects for placemaking in the state. We got some good ideas that we took back, and we'll be reaching out. There are a few different communities that I think had some overlap in some of the projects that they've done that could possibly work for our communities. So I took down some contact information and I'll be reaching out to them. But it was a really nice event, and I was very excited to be attending for the first time. They also presented some information on their data portal that they have on their website that'll have a lot of great information for the DDA in whole, and some possible funding opportunities for possibly some projects that the DDA is looking at. So hopefully I can reach out to them and make some inquiries on that. I also had the opportunity last week to attend the Michigan Downtown Association annual conference. So we had a lot of great sessions there. I'll be presenting some information to my DDA board on the specific trainings that I attended, but as always, that's a great event to get to network with other DDA managers and economic development people. Lastly, some of the events that just wrapped up, to share some information. We ended our Scarecrows on the Grand contest. We had over 20 local businesses participating this year. We had winners chosen for the People's Choice was the Learning Tree Center, and then the committee's choice for most creative display was actually the Lyon Township Clerk's Department. So they received some baskets with items from local businesses that were put into the baskets. Our voting last year, we had just over 100 votes. This year, we had close to 300 votes, so it was good to see that people were getting activated through that. We also ran our Goodies on the Grand event. We had over 19 local businesses that were taking part, handing out candy. Last year, we had about 160 people, or about 130 kids. This year, we went through about 170 kids. In total, about 350 people attended in total. So we were very excited with that. Walmart actually donated cider and donuts for all the participants too. So I think everybody had a really good time. We're looking forward to the event again next year. And it was great to see some of the actual businesses that were out there were already talking about their displays for next year and what they could do to really ramp it up. So we were really happy with that. And then we do have 2 upcoming projects. We have our Giving on the Grand event, which will be Saturday, November 25th, starting at 9:30 a.m., where we invite volunteers from the community to come help us actually set up for our holiday light display at Inspiration Park. So please feel free to stop by, spend an hour or 2 with us to help set that display up. That'll start in December. And our Lighting Up the Grand event will be on Saturday, December 9th. We've switched the time. It's going to run 4:30 to 8 p.m. this year at Inspiration Park, so we can take advantage more of the darkness so we can actually highlight the lights that are there. So far, some of the activities we have planned are face painting, character artist. We'll have a hot cocoa and s'mores station sponsored by Heinz Park Ford. We'll be doing letters to Santa. We'll have pictures with Santa, a live nativity scene, a dance performance. There'll be a craft fair hosted by the church. The actual tree lighting ceremony will take place at 6 p.m. And some of our sponsors so far are Blake's, Walbridge, Mitten Animal Hospital, the Lyon Township Public Library, and Hey Babe Beauty Bar. And for smaller businesses, we are still looking for display sponsors. For $150, you can get one of your signs on the actual lighted pathway that night. So if interested, contact me. But other than that, we hope to see you out there at those events, Goodies on the Grand and Lighting Up the Grand. So thank you.
Thank you, Amy. That's doing a good job out there, promoting the township. All right, we're going to move on. Fire, Chief Madeline.
Good evening. Couple items here. Station renovations are complete, finally. I encourage the board to slide by and take a look at it. It turned out really nice. Inside of Station 1 looks completely different, especially on the backside. Halloween party, we held that on October 21st. It was a huge success. We had just under 400 residents in attendance this year. Local businesses donated a bunch of money and allowed us to purchase a lot of stuff for the party this year, which truly made it a community event. And without the volunteers of the firefighters, family members, and stuff like that, this wouldn't have been as huge of a success as it was. We'd also like to make a special thanks to Blake's Orchard and Jet's Pizza for all of their donations for the cider, donuts, and pizza. This year they donated everything to the party, which was a huge benefit for us. And Sergeant Selnick, he's the one that actually did all the planning pretty much this year for the event and rounding of all the donations and stuff like from the local businesses. For the fire prevention this month, they did 24 inspections totaling just over 200,000 square feet, which brings us to 441 for the year, totaling 13.6 million square feet so far this year that he's inspected. This month was Fire Prevention Month. Our firefighters did get to all of the elementary schools and met with all of the kindergarten classes this year just to discuss what to do in case of a fire. So it was a huge hit, and the kids loved seeing the firefighters inside the building. The other thing that we've been working on this month, and it's going to work in its way this month of November, is the firefighters are slowly going around to all of the elementary schools and sitting down with the kids at lunchtime just to have lunch with them. It's a new program we're kind of trying to try out this year just to see how it goes and just to get more exposure with the children inside the schools for them to ask questions of firefighters. This month, in the month of October, I should say, our firefighters received 9 hours of training per person. Most of that was focused on EMS training to maintain our licenses, and that is also for this month also. We're going to be doing EMS training. For runs, we are up 172 runs from this time last year, and end of October at 1,632 runs for the year. Any questions?
Well, thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chief. All right, we're going to move on to Sheriff, Lieutenant Whitfield.
I'm all official, I have my radio on. Good evening, everyone. All right, first off, for the benefit of the community, I'd like to introduce Sergeant Raymond Sharma. He's going to be our afternoon and midnight shift sergeant. Again, he'll be in charge of the split shift, 7P to 3A-ish, maybe 5 to 1. He kind of flexes his hours. But he will be here and available for anyone in the community that needs a command officer. All right, a couple other things I'd like to cover. Shop with a Cop, we're set. We're going to do it December 13th this year at 1 p.m. I've been advised by one of the creators of the event that South Lyon PD as well as South Lyon Fire has been invited to join us this year, and they will be sending representatives over to help us. So it's very exciting. I have sent out over 125 letters to businesses in the community asking them to contribute to our event. So very exciting. Last year we helped over 100 children, so I'm expecting us to do around the same this year. It usually fluctuates in between 100 to 125 or so, but it's very exciting. Members of the board, you're always welcome to come out and help us out if you have some free time. All right. Next up, Treats for the Troops. We do this every year. The Sheriff's Office collects any kind of additional candy that members in the community may have and they want to donate. If you have some, please bring it up to us, the Sheriff's Office, located at 58,000.
Can we know the chocolate?
No, you know what? Normally, they didn't used to take chocolate, but they said we can take it now.
Okay.
So we'll take it all. I have to transport it downtown in a few days, but if it comes in after that, we'll still take it. All right, next up we have Coats for the Code. We do this every year, Joe. I believe this is like the 22nd year. That will be running from November 1st through November 30th. The sheriff is partnered with a lot of local area businesses. We collect coats from the public that are gently used and cleaned, and we donate them to people in need every year. So it's a good thing. If you have something that you no longer have a use for, please bring it up to the sheriff's office. Again, downstairs I have 2 boxes that are waiting to be full, and we can donate them to the people in need.
Do you have one to put up here at the township hall, or it's just wise to go downstairs?
No, I can,
Okay.
if you will permit that. I'll bring it up.
Yeah. Didn't we do it last time?
Yeah, we did it
Yeah, I
one
thought
time.
so. Yeah,
Oh,
we'll bring one up.
We had one up here.
Yeah.
Perfect, I'll bring it up.
Great, thanks.
Thanks. It's good we have these meetings.
Thanks.
Yeah. I could actually get more boxes too. I didn't.
There you go.
I'll do
We'll
that.
take one if you
I'll do it
want.
when I take the candy down. I'll bring some extras. I promise. All right, next up. This just in today. The sheriff's office is warned of the latest scam. We have individuals that are calling people on the Michigan Sex Offenders Registration List. They are telling them that they've missed their second DNA profile and demanding money from them. So, once again, the sheriff's office will never call and demand money from anyone. And if you have any doubts, do not send any money, and feel free to call us, the sheriff's office, to verify your status and the fact that you are not being scammed. So far, one person has fallen for this that we know of, and this individual requested that they pay them in Bitcoin. I don't know. Seems sketchy to me, but it can happen. Don't do it. We will not call. That's all for me. Does anyone have any questions?
No, it's all good.
Perfect.
Thanks, Lieutenant.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, moving on, Planning Commission. Patty.
Okay, we did not have a meeting on October 9th. We did not have any agenda items for that meeting, but we did have a meeting on October 23rd. Unfortunately, I was not able to attend that, but we only held one. It was a public hearing on outdoor dining standards, and it was pretty well discussed again by the board, and they ended up tabling it. So it will be on a near agenda in the future. So that was it. But we have a very large agenda coming up this next Monday. It's got a lot of stuff on it, so.
Okay. All right, ZBA, please.
We did not have a meeting in October, but hold on to your hats. We have two cases on our November 20th agenda.
Nice. Well, that's something to say next time.
Yes. I'm so
All right.
looking forward to it.
Moving on, building official is on vacation. So there won't be a report from the building department. And the good news of the water situation is that we're down to about 14 grains. They've started it out very slow. It's been running 1 month. They hope to have it down to 12 grains in the next 2 weeks. So that's moving forward. Our consumption, water consumption is down, way down. We're under 1 million gallons now a day. Under. You talk from 8 million in the summer, which is crazy. But other than that, we're moving forward. And the other thing is the DEQ has gotten back to us on comments on South Hill finally. And it looks like that could wrap up fairly quickly. They didn't have a lot of questions, and the questions they had were answered pretty promptly. So I think that might be in construction this year. Well, we're hoping.
John, I turned my softener off, and things are going pretty well.
Did you
I mean,
do
how's
that?
my hair look? Is it good?
So you did bypass?
I said, what hair?
Weird.
You know, you should really be nice for me. No, but I've noticed that I don't need it. So.
Well, that's awesome. I'm glad. We're not going to do that until we have everything right down to where it needs to be, so.
Yeah, well, it's
Okay.
pretty darn good. So.
It is good. Right now, it's running really, really good. Okay, well, that concludes our reports. I should ask anyone else have any questions about the water? I mean, okay. That'll conclude our reports, and we have one public hearing tonight, which we have every year. It's on the Community Development Block Grant, and I always have the planner go ahead and just kind of give an overview before we have that public hearing on what exactly that is.
Great.
So
Thank
thanks,
you very
Andy.
much. So the Community Development Block Grant Program, or the CDBG program, administered by HUD, is a primary source of flexible federal funding to states and localities for economic and community development and other related purposes. We've received the CDBG application package for program year 2024. It's due on December 1st, and we've been instructed by Oakland County to apply for just over $22,000 in funds for program year 2024. Each year, the actual allocation for each community isn't known until months after the application, so there's likely to be some adjustment of this figure when actual allocations are made. Communities must allocate a minimum of $3,500 for each project and are limited to funding a maximum of 4 projects per year. Also, Oakland County has restricted the amount recipient communities may spend on public services to 30% of a community's total allocation, which would be roughly $6,600 of the $22,000. So overall, we're recommending to allocate roughly $3,500 to provide services for abused spouses and their children through the nonprofit organization Haven. Also to allocate $3,500 to provide tutoring, career counseling, emotional wellness programs, and summer camp scholarships through the South Lyon Area Youth Assistance Program. And then finally to allocate around $15,050 to cover the access fees to allow seniors in the township to use the Center for Active Adults in South Lyon. But as previously stated, the actual amounts may change once distributions are made, and we'll inform the board of any substantive changes to these figures if those occur. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, and I know everyone on the board understands that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead then, and we're going to open the public hearing at 7:19 for any public to come up and ask any questions about this block grant. Anyone want to come up? All right, then we're going to close the public hearing at 7:19, and we're going to move on to unfinished business. First consideration and unfinished business is the adoption of ordinance 6-23 to amend the Lyon Township Code of Ordinances, Chapter 36, Private Roads, Article 1 in general, Section 36-4, dividing, partitioning, or assembling land and road frontage, and Article 3, Design Standards. Roads, Design Standards, Section 36-19, roads to regulate private roads and to provide penalties for violation. This is a second reading. We have two of these tonight. There was a few changes, and I think that they were made. But let's go ahead, and anyone have any questions?
John, I wasn't here last month,
Okay.
and I just have a question. Is fire marshal supposed to have 2 Ls in this? I know it's a decision that can, I mean, you can really use both, but not often marshal with 2 Ls. So if it's, yes, it is generally 1, but
Okay, so we
that could be
accept.
corrected on page, it's page 1, it's section 36-4, letter B, item 1.
Okay.
I didn't know if that was just an ordinance requirement, that maybe there's an alternate way that it's spelled. Just trying to give the benefit of the doubt.
Okay, anyone else like to make any comments to adopt this ordinance?
All right, I'll move the adoption of ordinance 06-23 with the one change that was just mentioned on the spelling of the word fire marshal.
I'll support.
All right, we have a motion and support. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we'll move on. Our second reading, the second unfinished business, is the consideration of adoption to amend the time frame for site plan expiration. That's another one. I don't believe anything's changed on that one. Anyone make any comments or motions in order?
In the spirit of moving things along, I'll move the adoption of ordinance number 07-23.
I'll support.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that concludes our unfinished business. We're going to move on to new business. First item in new business is a resolution approving the program year 2024 Community Development Block Grant application.
So this is,
Anybody?
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 2023-23, resolution approving the program year 2024 Community Development Block Grant applications.
Support.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we're going to move on to B, consideration to approve resolution 2023-24 Oakland County Incident Management Team intergovernmental agreement with the township and authorize the supervisor and clerk to execute the agreement. This is every year too, I believe, or every few years.
John, could there be a correction to management team to read team, and the word participate changed to, I believe it should be participation, in the 3rd line down?
I think that this is an agreement that comes from Oakland County. Carol, what do you think?
The agreement comes from the county.
Yeah, it's definitely spelled
That
wrong
one
now.
we're gonna change.
Yeah, like,
I don't know what to say.
Okay,
Well, Lisa, if you move the approval of this document subject to these corrections being confirmed with Oakland County, I'd be inclined to support your motion.
I would make such a motion.
Well, I would second it then.
all right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, moving on to the last item, consideration. This is the introduction, this will be first reading, to amend the Township Code of Ordinances, Chapter 40, Streets, Sidewalks, and Other Public Places. Article 2, construction of bicycle paths and sidewalks, Section 4062, location easement, to clarify location of path or sidewalk. Carol, you want to talk about this one?
This is just our continuing effort. We went through the code and tried to catch all the sections where we referred to plan right away to change it, that the regulations will take place from existing right of ways. This is one we missed in doing the whole set of them that are going to the planning commission shortly.
Anyone have any questions, or
Yep, fine.
somebody'd like to make a motion?
I'll move ordinance 8-23 to second reading.
I'll support.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Holy cow. We're at the end of the meeting. Does anyone have anything they want to talk about before we adjourn? All right, well, I'm going to consider this meeting adjourned. Thank you.